You don't wake up in the morning thinking, how can I hurt my dog today? You make the coffee, you grab the leash, you give that quick pat on the head and maybe a kiss on the nose. You call it love. You call it education. You call it just messing around. And yet, your dog's eyes are quietly telling another story. Picture this, you're getting ready to leave the house. You're a bit late, a bit stressed. The leash gets tangled. Your dog pulls toward the door, excited. In a reflex, you yank the leash back, like you're pulling a handbrake. Hey, stop it. You say, half annoyed, half distracted. Your dog freezes for a second, licks his lips, turns his head away just a little, and you don't even notice. You're already locking the door, keys jingling, thoughts far away. Or later that night, you sit on the couch, pick up your phone, and call your dog over. Come here, buddy. Let me give you a hug. He hesitates for a split second, then obeys because that's what he always does. You wrap your arms tight around his body, bury your face in his fur. His body goes a bit stiff. His ears fold back. He yawns, though he's not tired. He blinks, looks away. You laugh and say, so cute when you get sleepy. And squeeze a little tighter. You're not a bad person. You love this animal. You buy the good food, you pay the vet, you take pictures, you show them proudly. But love isn't just what you feel. It's what the other receives. And dogs don't speak Portuguese or English. They speak in muscles, in eyes, in breaths that get faster or slower, in tiny signals they repeat every day, hoping you'll finally understand. In today's video, we're going to walk through 7 everyday things that can hurt your dog without you realizing it. Things that might be part of your routine right now. Some will surprise you, some might make you a bit uncomfortable, and one of them, number 4, is usually done as a joke. But it is one of the biggest creators of silent, deep fear in a dog's mind. Before we go on, look at your dog for a moment, even if only in your memory. Is there anything he does around you that you've never quite understood? A behavior, a reaction, a stubbornness that irritates you or makes you sad? Hold that question, because as we go through each of these 7 actions, you may discover that your answer has been in his body language all along. If this kind of reflection makes sense to you, if you care not just about having a dog, but about having a relationship, stay with me. We're going to start with one of the most common lessons humans give. That feels like discipline to us and like a shock to them. Look at your dog for a second. Not the idea you have of him. The real dog in front of you. The way the chest rises and falls. The tiny movement of the ears. That quick lick of the nose that seems like nothing. Every detail is a sentence in a language most people never learn to read. Imagine this scene. You're getting ready to walk out the door. Your dog is excited, jumping, pulling. You sigh, you're already late, and without even thinking, you give that classic sharp tug on the leash. Almost like you're pulling a suitcase that got stuck behind you. His body jerks. The collar tightens for a second around his neck. He blinks hard, licks his lips once, twice, turns his head slightly to the side. Then he keeps walking. See? It works, you think. He's behaving now, but inside something else happened. For your dog, that leash yank is not discipline. It's a small shock. It's confusion wrapped in pain. He doesn't know that your job is stressful, that the traffic was horrible, that you're late for an appointment. He just knows that, out of nowhere, the person he trusts most in the world caused a sudden discomfort that he couldn't escape or predict. And when that repeats, day after day, the lesson is silent and deep. Walking is dangerous. Being close to you on the street is unpredictable. I need to be on alert. That's when you start seeing the other signs. The tail that gets lower every time you approach the collar. The stiff body when you grab the leash. The yawn that appears even when he's not sleepy, right when you reach for his neck. None of this is random. It's him saying, in dog language, I'm not okay with this. Tell me in the comments, honestly. Have you ever used the leash like a brake? Pulling hard when your dog pulls? You're not alone in this. Almost everyone who loves their dog deeply has already done something that hurt without realizing. And it doesn't stop at the leash. The same story repeats when you hug too tight, when you insist on kissing his face while he tries to turn away, when you think he's smiling, but his eyes are hard and his body is like stone. Little daily gestures that, in your mind, are pure affection and, in his, are pressure. In a moment, we'll walk through these 7 actions one by one, and you'll probably recognize yourself in more than one of them. Especially in number 4, which looks like a joke but plants real fear. Imagine your dog on the sidewalk, the world exploding in smells and sounds, and you at the other end of the leash. He pulls a little toward a bush, a tree, a sound you didn't even notice. Your hand reacts automatically. You jerk the leash back, hard, like you're hitting a brake. The collar slams into his neck, his body snaps backward. He looks up at you for a second, confused. You keep walking. In your head, you're thinking, he needs to learn not to pull. In his head, the association is simpler and much more unfair. When I get curious, it hurts. Now slow that scene down in your memory. Replay it in slow motion. Before the pull, did you see the small signs? His tail started to rise, his ears tilted forward, his nose accelerated, his steps got faster. That was the moment to teach, to guide, with your voice, with your body, with a calm stop, instead of correcting with pain. But we're not trained to see anticipation. We only react to the problem after it explodes in front of us. Dogs live in the micro-movements we ignore. The lip that appears for a second to lick an invisible crumb. The head that turns slightly to the side when you bend over him with open arms. The body that freezes when a stranger comes with a hand straight for the top of his head. You call it, he's a bit weird with people. He calls it, I've been asking for space for months. No one listens. How many times have you tried to hug your dog when he clearly didn't want it? You kneel down, wrap your arms around his neck, press your face into his fur. For you, it's love. For him, often, it's capture. Notice what he does in those seconds. Does he yawn even though he's not tired? Does he avoid your gaze? Is his body stiff, paws anchored, or trying to slide away politely? In the dog world, very few hugs exist. Being trapped, with no escape route, is a primal trigger for fear. And yet, we repeat it, calling it affection. Ask yourself, honestly, how many times, in the last week, did your dog ask you to stop, and you only saw cute behavior? That forced little smile with the corners of the mouth pulled back, teeth showing but tail wagging low. Those rapid, repetitive yawns when guests arrive and everyone laughs. Look, he's sleepy. Or that sudden fascination with the floor, the wall, the invisible speck of dust. Any excuse not to face what scares him. Once you start to see these quiet no's, it's hard to unsee them. And a strange thing happens. A bit of guilt appears, yes, but also a huge door of possibility. Because if behavior is language, then every tension is also a question. Can I trust you to protect me from what I can't handle alone? If this is resonating with situations you've lived with your dog, pause for a second and think, what is the gesture, the game, the joke you've always done with him that now feels different in this new light? Keep that in mind, because in the next part we're going to step into one of the most common jokes people play with dogs, and why this, more than almost anything else, plants a deep silent fear that can last a lifetime. And now we arrive at the one that so many people do as a joke, and that quietly destroys a dog's sense of safety. Scaring him on purpose to see his reaction. Maybe you've seen it. Maybe you've done it. The dog is sleeping peacefully in the living room. Someone creeps up with a mask, or drops something loudly right beside him, or jumps out from behind the door shouting, "BOO!" Everyone laughs. Someone records. Look at his face. He's so funny. He got so scared. The video goes to the family group, to social media. A moment of entertainment. For you. For him, it's different. From the dog's point of view, it's night. The house is quiet. He finally relaxed after a day full of noises, smells, children, deliveries at the gate. His breathing slows, muscles soften. And then, out of nowhere, a scream, an object flying, a human shape suddenly larger, fast, unpredictable. His nervous system explodes in a fraction of a second. Heart racing. Pupils dilating, adrenaline flooding his body like a fire alarm going off in every cell. On the outside, you see a jump, a skid on the floor. Maybe he runs away, maybe he barks high-pitched and confused, maybe he freezes, eyes wide, tail low. Inside, his brain is asking, If even here, when I'm most vulnerable, danger appears from the people I love, where am I safe? What hurts is not only the scare, it's the betrayal of trust. Imagine a child who runs into a parent's arms after a nightmare and the parent uses that moment to joke, to scream "boo" in the child's ear. The child might laugh nervously, but a crack opens. Can I really relax here? Your dog goes through something similar when we turn his fear into entertainment. And this doesn't happen only in big, elaborate pranks. Sometimes it's a hand suddenly grabbing his neck when he's eating, just to see if he's jealous, or stomping loudly right behind him to watch him jump, or making threatening postures, leaning over, staring straight into his eyes, moving your arms as if you're about to attack, then stopping and laughing. Look, he got all serious. Some dogs respond with what we humans applaud. He faces it. He barks bravely, shows his teeth. Wow, he's a guard dog, we say, as if that courage came from a healthy place, not from a constant need to be ready for the next unpredictable attack. Others shut down. The dog that lowers his head, licks his lips repeatedly, yawns in the middle of the tension, turns his body sideways, avoids your hand as if your fingers were fire. To many people, that looks dramatic or fresh. In dog language, it's a scream. This is too much for me. I'm not okay. And here's the invisible wound. Every time we use fear as a game, we confirm to the dog that humans are not entirely safe, that the world can explode at any moment, out of nowhere. Over time, the dog that used to sleep deeply becomes the dog that wakes up at any sound, barks at every movement, gets in front of guests barking out of nowhere. But it's not out of nowhere. It's out of a life in which surprises usually come dressed as threats. Ask yourself honestly, has anyone in your house ever scared your dog on purpose? Jumped, yelled, thrown something just to see what he does? How did he react? And more important, how did he look right after when the laughter died down? Did you see soft eyes? Or eyes still wide, scanning every corner? Did his body return to calm? Or did he stay tense, following your every move? If this is happening in your home, this is a powerful moment to change direction, to show your dog that in your presence, there are no ambushes, only predictability, respect, and calm. When we stop using his fear as a toy, we give space for true courage to grow, that quiet confidence that doesn't need to bark at every shadow. In a moment, I'll show you how to repair this broken trust and what to do when the damage already seems done. The dog is reactive, suspicious, always on. But before that, tell me in the comments, in which of these situations did you recognize yourself, even a little? Your honesty here might be the first step toward a completely different relationship with your dog in the next blocks. Now maybe you're thinking, all right, I get it. I've probably done some of these things. Is the damage done? Is there anything I can fix? Take a slow breath and look at your dog again. Really look. He's right there waiting for a different script. And the beautiful thing about dogs is this. They live in the present. They carry scars, yes, but they offer second chances every single day. Imagine the same living room from before. The TV is on, it's late, you're tired. In the past, this would be the moment you'd tease him, or push him away with a frustrated "go lie down." Today you just pat the couch once, calmly. "Come here, buddy." He hesitates because history taught him this call might come with confusion. You don't insist. You soften your shoulders, turn your body a little sideways instead of square on. Avoid staring straight into his eyes. In dog language, you're saying, no pressure. Your choice. He watches you for a second. Then you see it. A little exhale, almost a sigh. He hops up, curls beside you. You rest your hand on his ribs, not patting, not squeezing, just feeling his breathing. And in that silence, something very old starts to melt. Change doesn't mean turning your house into a military school. It means adding clarity where today there is noise. When you stop yelling and start using one calm word and a gesture. When you trade the sudden leash jerk for a pause and a clear direction. When you respect a growl or a turned head instead of punishing it. Paradoxically, when your dog feels safe to say no, he relaxes enough to say yes to you much more often. Notice how your walks can shift. Instead of dragging him, you invite. Instead of testing his courage, you protect it. Little by little, that constant alert in his eyes gives way to something softer. You'll see it in the way he sleeps deeper, stretches longer, approaches guests with curiosity instead of tension. And this is where I want to bring you in. Which of these everyday attitudes you've seen in yourself the most? The leash, the rough play, the jokes, the ignoring of small signals? Put it in the comments. Not as a confession of guilt, but as a starting point. Your dog is already ready to turn the page. The question is, are you willing to write the next chapter differently? In the final part, I'll show you how to transform this understanding into concrete, simple habits you can start using today, so your dog stops living in silent defense and finally rests in real trust by your side. So now, come back with me to that first scene. You, your dog, the hallway, and that tiny pause before you put on the leash. Can you feel how different it is now? Before, it was automatic. Now, there is a breath, an invitation, a question, you okay? And in that small space, a whole new relationship can begin. Maybe as you watched this video, you remembered moments that stung a little. The times you hugged when he wanted space. The jokes that were just for fun. But now you see the ears pinned back, the tail low in your memory, the quick jerks on the leash, the stop being dramatic when he was trembling. If some guilt showed up, let it sit down beside you, not to punish you, but to guide you. Guilt is only useful when it turns into responsibility and love in action. Your dog does not keep score like we do. He is not counting your mistakes on a clipboard. For him, what matters is what you do from this moment on. Today's walk can be different. Today's greeting when you get home can be softer. Today's no can come with a come here. Let's try again instead of fear. Each small choice, repeated every day, becomes a deep message. You are safe with me. Your voice matters. I see you. Notice how his body speaks from now on. The little lick of the nose when you bend over him too fast. The turn of the head when you try to kiss his face. The heavy sigh when he finally relaxes at your feet. These are not random gestures. They are sentences in a language you are finally learning to read. And when you answer in that same language, slowing down, giving space, offering comfort, you are not spoiling him. You are healing him. And, in a quiet way, healing parts of yourself that also needed someone to finally say, I'm listening. If this video opened your eyes to at least one habit you want to change, tell me in the comments. What is the hardest part of your relationship with your dog right now? Is it the walks, visitors at home, jealousy, fear, barking, something else? Your doubt might be exactly what someone else needed to hear to understand their own dog. If you felt that something shifted inside you today, that a light turned on when you looked at your dog, tap the like so this message reaches more people who love their dogs but are still in the dark. And if you want to keep learning the silent language with more videos like this, deep, honest, sometimes uncomfortable, but always in favor of your dog, subscribe and turn on the notifications, because this was just the first step. From here on, we are going to walk together into a world where your dog doesn't have to shout with teeth or fear to finally be heard.